So, what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, it was Palm Sunday, so you missed full church with waving palms and lots of music. The we sang to begin the service. We sang the psalm. We sang the communion prayers. We sang in different cultures. We sang in different languages. The youth and the young people, the something like choir and band, they sang a fantastic version of "Prepare You the Way of the Lord" with terrific instrumentation. It's just such joy. In fact, there is a small video of it on our Facebook page that you can see. But it was a day filled with music and filled with parades. And we we began the service by imagining the Palm Sunday parade to be one of triumph. We're number one, Jesus is number one kind of celebration to counteract the idea that Rome is number one, or that the empire or that any powers are number one. But then Etienne interrupted the cheering and suggested to us, in fact, that we have it wrong, that it's not about red carpets, it's about cloaks thrown on the ground. It's not about banners and trumpets, it's about palms that anyone can wave. It's not about who's number one, it's about transformation. And having said that, he proved it to me. He proved it to all of us by coming in with the young people over strewn cloaks on the ground and singing "Prepare You the Way of the Lord" in English and in French, with trumpet and piano and guitar and bass and jazz. Just so much music and so much joy. And we were all transformed. And then he went on to talk about that transformation and to invite us to understand what it means to cry Hosanna. That it in fact does declare Jesus as Lord, but at the same time says, "Save me. Hosanna, save me. I wouldn't ask you to save me if you weren't God. And I am asking you to save me." So there is a sense of celebration, but also a sense of desperation, a sense of hope, but also a sense of need in Palm Sunday, as we read about it in the Gospels, as we experience it even today. Etienne reminded us that we might be slogging through a muddy swamp up to our waist. But then comes these moments, these islands that we climb out of the mud and we celebrate. Jesus surely was in the midst of a muddy swamp. He knew where he was going. He knew where he had been. And yet, in this moment, celebration. And so the invitation was for us, I think, to recognize that even when we slog through the swamp, there is moment to celebrate. I've lost my job. You want me to celebrate? Yes, Etienne said. Someone I love has died. You want me to celebrate? Yes, Etienne said. That is the point of Palm Sunday. In the midst of the swampy mud, there are these islands, these moments to stand up and say, "Oh my God." And in the same breath say, "Save me." Or more simply, Hosanna. And then we all came to the table again to say Hosanna, to say, "Oh my God," and "Save me," all in the same breath. We were nourished together at that table. And at the end of the service, we sang and danced to "Marching in the Light of God." We are marching in the light of God. And so we left today marching and dancing and walking and gliding and singing and going out into the world to take that parade everywhere it can be sustained. Everywhere that somebody is waist deep in the mud, everywhere that somebody is up on the island cheering, everywhere that somebody is, God is reaching out to us, inviting us to say, Hosanna. So that's what you missed at Jubilee today. I hope we don't miss you next week for Easter. And maybe you can join us for Monday, Thursday at 6 o'clock, or Good Friday at 10:30, or sunrise service on Sunday morning at 8. Or maybe we just get to see you next Sunday at 10:30. Whenever we do, it would be spectacular. God bless.